Here I am with another fun video that you will hopefully enjoy. So I picked up these plaques at the Dollar Tree and I was wondering what I would do with them. And then I decided that I would use them to actually display these magnets that I got on my trip to Vietnam. I don't have a fridge that takes magnets very well. Also, I was kind of afraid that these would fall off and they would get damaged. So I made these little things for my gallery wall. So you can do this with magnets. You can do this with postcards. And I just painted the edges gold, and you just put one of these hooks. Again, I got this from Temu, on the back, and these are ready to hang. So these are the three that I've made. Then there was this little ATC that I had kind of worked on, and I was wondering if that might look good on one of these. You can also use plaster. These are some that I made in like Stampedia molds. This is plaster of Paris, so it's not very durable on its own, but like as a display piece it would look very nice. So these are the ones that I want to make today, and I'm just wondering if this would be better suited to this one. Maybe, we'll see. So let's get started. I want to do one that is very similar to this. And the way I do this is basically I start with a piece of paper and I kind of mark the edges. It's very difficult to trace this, so I just like kind of fold the paper down and mark the edges, and then I cut around it. You can leave a little bit on because you can always go in and sand that part off. Now this is a super quick and easy project. Just going to grab my glue. And I'm sure you have like lots of stuff that you could display like this, stuff that you've gotten on your travels and that's lying in drawers, not displayed anywhere. So then I'm just going in with this it's kind of like a sandpaper thing, block. I think it's for your nails, but I'm using it for this. So. The sanding gives it a nice edge because then the paper tears nicely and it looks like the paper was always part of the wood. And if there are any tears, etc., you can just kind of sand them down as well. So, and especially for something like this plaque, which I mean it's impossible to trace around it, this works really well. It does take a little bit of time, and if you had like thinner paper, if you were doing this with say a napkin, it would be much easier than this. You can also actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I can also go in over this now because I have a very good line, and I can just trim off the excess. Just be careful that you don't make the wood splinter. You could probably also just do like napkin decoupage and not have like any 3D elements on it, kind of like I've done with the postcards over there. There's no 3D element. Okay, so now I have this base, and I am going to go in and I'm going to put this on top. Now I am going to use double-sided tape, this nano tape. Again, I got this from Temu. It works very well. And just going to peel this off. I'm going to put this here just so that I can make sure the placement is kind of similar. It is, and there we have it. Now, what I did for this one was I took this Key & Company sticker book and I just kind of layered some stickers to make it look like there are blooms in the vase. And this is where I'm going to make them both a little different because I'm using different stickers. So there we have the base, and then I used stickers from the same line, and just going to see. Now this vase is hollow from the inside, so that's fun to play with. And put a few leaves there, and I would like one more, maybe over there. So as you can see, these are already very different. I did put in some fake flowers, as you can see over here, and I will add those to this one too at the end. But for now, I would like to add a couple of butterflies from this right here, and maybe this one over here. Now I am going to go in, just press this down, and I'm using this Folk Art Treasure Gold paint and a paintbrush, and you're just going to go around the edges. And now when you do go around the edges, you also go around the edges of the paper. So if there was any like white bits showing, they don't show anymore. And this is what gives it that gorgeous finish. As you can see, this brush is totally, I used it for this project and then kept it on hand. And you can even go in and, you know, burnish the edges a little bit. That really makes the paper blend in. And then we will do one other little thing to make everything blend in, but we're going to let the brown paint dry a little bit. This is why my hands are never manicured and clean, because I always in my craft projects kind of go in with my fingers, always. And as you can see, I'm kind of letting some of that gold come in, and that really kind of, if you can see over here, makes the whole thing blend in very, very well. So that's one done. I'm going to put these to this side. Probably going to put it on this so I don't, well, my mat is already very dirty, but I'm going to try and preserve it as much as possible. I'm also going to put these to the side because I don't want the postcards getting dirty. Okay, so this is one that I wanted to do, and I'm just wondering, I think this is too complicated to do with anything other than napkins. So probably these two I will do with napkins, and I'll probably make this one I'll keep this for something else, and I will do this one on this. So now again, background papers for both of those is what we need. I'm going to go in and yeah, I think this will be perfect for this one. So just going to, again, as you can see, I'm just literally pressing it down, and that gives me a rough template, which is actually pretty good. So the less overhang you leave, the less you will have to sand this. And I'm going to show you on the other side. You can take actually a pretty good tracing of that. It's not that hard. We are going to go in with glue, and this is directional paper, so I want to make sure that I get it the right place, and then just do a little bit of the sand like this. Actually, this works better. There we go. Again, with the double-sided tape, we are going to go in and cut this out. And so this is a really fun project, and I'm not going to be putting any flowers or anything in this. I'm just going to leave it as is because the pattern is already very busy and I don't want everything to kind of look the same. So again, we will just go around. And that's the fun thing with the gallery wall. So the wall that I'm going to put this on, I'll share pictures in the coming days. It's got a lot of plates on it, and it's got a few paintings. So the wall has about, I think, 4 paintings and then lots of plates in the middle. And I was thinking that I want it to be more whimsical. I don't just want it to be like squares and rectangles and just, you know, just the plates and the paintings. So, and I also really wanted a way to put these vases up, and I didn't want it to be on the fridge. So literally, as you can see, I'm going in and I am letting the gold come into onto the paper as well, and that finishes this off beautifully, I feel. So that's one more done. Super simple project, and I'm just going to put these hangers on the back, and then they're going to go on the wall. So for this one, I think I want to go in and actually add more gold because I want it to stand out more. And because this is just something that's plain gold, I can actually use like a busy paper at the back. If I want to do that, or I can go with something plain. Both are options. These are also magnets that I got from Malaysia. I could potentially do a couple of these as well because I have one right over here. So, you know, I could probably just paint this gold and just put this on and just have it that simple. So while the medallion is drying, let's try this one out. Because something that is super busy probably won't look good with the wood, because there is a lot of very subtle detail in those magnets. And I'm just going to hold it up to the camera to show you. And this also takes care of the problem of this complicated shape and paper being a bit of a pain to put on this. So see, something literally as simple as this would look very nice. And I will probably do 2 of these. So I'm going to put this right here on the paper. And I mean, even if I'm just, putting them up in other places, these all don't have to go on the same gallery wall, because then, I'll have, I think these are 8 pieces or 7 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they'll be like all the same. So they can be in different places, but at least my memories will be up on the wall, right? These things won't be banished into cabinets. There we go. And this one can come on top like that. And as you can see, there is a lot of fine detail. And so I don't want to overwhelm this with a pattern. So I'm just going to put this here. And then let's think about this one. I think I would like to put some paper that is slightly busier, and try that. Or we can also do napkin, because let's try the napkin. So I brought over my box of napkins, and I'm just going to take out some pieces that might look pretty. So this would look pretty. Let's see, what else do we have? This would also look very pretty. And actually this is happier. So I will use this. And here we are. I've already used this napkin because only 1/4 is left. But now we're going to use the rest. We're not going to be precious with all our stuff. I have lots of fun videos coming up, lots of scrap busting videos, because I have accumulated so much stuff. And I think now is the time that I should start just using stuff instead of buying more stuff. I don't even remember how many times I've said that before, but hopefully I will start to follow through. Okay. Got the glue everywhere. Putting this down, pressing it in. There we are. So the thing to do would be to let this dry and then sand around the edges and put the medallion. But for the purposes of this video, I am going to try and tear it away carefully. So these little bits, you can leave them the way they are because we are going to go over it with gold paint. And normally I would hold on to these scraps, but now I'm going to start throwing stuff away because my desk is, actually my entire studio is becoming a bit of a nightmare. Just look at how gorgeous this gold looks with this napkin. There we go. And I'm not brushing any gold on the edges because the napkin is wet, and if I go over with my finger right now, it's definitely going to tear because the glue is still wet. So if you want to just, you know, brush towards the sides like this a little bit, but let's leave it at that, not anything else. Just want to make sure I have all the sides. And there we go. This one is done. Going to close the paint, put the brushes on the side, and now I don't want to put this on it because this is just so gorgeous on its own. Actually, these wouldn't look bad on it, but no, I'll probably go with something super small on this one, and maybe we will save this for something else later. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will give this a try. It's a super simple project, one that will allow you to bring out all of your fun bits and pieces and create something that you can actually display. How gorgeous does this look on this? No. So I might just leave this the way it is actually. Maybe just do like a little butterfly or something. And that's it. Because I really just love the colors and the way the gold is going with this. So here are all the lovely pieces that we have made. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video and that you will find plaques like these and create your own gallery wall of memories. And I will see you soon.